see that some of our favorites, Maribon, are already out there. I'm going to put them right in the stream. This is our final live stream of TennisCon 7. There's Gordon Tanner saying tremendous TennisCon 7. Gordon Tanner actually used his VIP hotline today, and he was asking about my workout with Troy, which was interesting. Scott and Sharon Levy, always there, always there. I was out at New Orleans, Scott and Sharon Levy, and Luke Jensen, who's part of the Tennis Fantasy that you played at. Scott was out there, and we talked about you being the MVP. And there's Tennis House is already there. He's already there. I was everybody follow Tennis House on Instagram and YouTube. I was out at his club, tremendous club. We had Emilio Sanchez was there, Luke Jensen was there. I was there. It was amazing. It was a lot of fun. Maribon, how are you tonight?
Oh, I'm fantastic. Always fantastic when I'm streaming with you, Peter. Always really excited. You know, you're such a good friend and big contributor to the tennis world. So yeah, I always just have a blast on the live streams. You know, connecting with all the passionate tennis players who have tuned into TennisCon, and yeah, can't be in a better place, to be honest. It's fun.
Yeah, Maribon, guys, I don't know if you noticed, if you're on his email list, he's won some big matches this week, and he's had some ideas. See, that's what I always think of as a coach, too. When I do TennisCon, I always have all these new ideas flowing in my head that I use in my lessons. And Maribon, you're using them in your matches as you're playing. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, just a lot of different strategies, techniques, you know, mindset, advice that I've learned from TennisCon and in other places. But yeah, I mean, in particular, you know, there was one match where I was went to a third set tiebreaker, and my partner and I won 20-18, which was unreal. But it was so funny because we had a live stream that evening about how to win close matches, and you know, I had already written out like what I wanted to present on, and I was thinking about those things like a couple times, at least like 2-3 times maybe. I stepped up to the line to serve on like match point down, and just thinking to myself, okay, let's do the in-between point routine, let's take the deep breath, let's feel your feet on the ground and play with your strings, and then positive affirmation. And then I told myself where I wanted to serve the ball, and you know, the strategy for the point, and yeah, it just helped out a lot. And you know, a lot of really great technical advice from the coaches here at TennisCon 7. Just yeah, it's great. I just love learning from the best, you know, at TennisCon, and then just applying it. It's awesome.
Very cool. John, I want to give a special shout out. He says, hey, just received my TennisCon 7 towel, which I was giving out.
Oh yeah.
Not giving out any tonight. You got to take advantage when you hear it. But yeah, so that's TennisCon 7 towel. You got that in the mail. So very cool. Very cool. Thank you for telling me that. So guys, what we're going to do is Maribon and I are going to go over, well, he's going to kind of interview me on the top 7 things that I learned at TennisCon. So Maribon and I, he does the Tennis Summit, I do TennisCon, and we collect all the information as it comes in. And so, and we do a lot of the interviews, and there's always certain things that stick out to me, like as people are saying something, or as I'm watching one of the videos, I'm like, wow, that's really good. And it means something to me as a coach. So I wanted to, for the people who are lifetime members who can log in and watch these videos, maybe you'll watch them in a little different light after watching tonight's live stream. If you are not a member yet and you're regretting it, like, why didn't I get all these amazing videos so I can watch them anywhere, anytime? We actually have opened up registration until midnight Pacific tonight, because as always, whenever we close something, even though we send a lot of emails out, people always email and say, I didn't get to sign up. Can I get one more chance? Or I'm sad, you know? So we're doing it till tonight. So, just a couple more things before we get into it. Enjoyed the workout with Troy. Bravo, Pete. I got my towel, bummed about not winning the raffle with Gigi, number 21. I was 30. That's right. So Gigi, we did a little raffle today for Gigi's list on going to one of her camps for free. Gordon's talking about my workout with Troy. Did you see that workout with Troy I did?
No, I need to go back and watch that though.
You should watch it.
How was that?
Guys, I want to see comments. And I just want to know if what I saw on video is the same thing that you guys saw. All right. So it's pretty funny. So I have a personal trainer. His name's Troy. He's excellent. And I feel like I'm in much better shape. I got to say, after doing this for 2 or 3 months with him, I feel more, nimble, and my back feels better, all that kind of good stuff. But when I was watching myself on video, I'm going, man, like watching me do just regular exercises, have me do, it's painful to watch. Like I look so bad, so tight,
Just stiff. Yeah.
so awkward. It's like I'm watching it going, oh my God. But then, and this is what I always tell people, maybe you guys can always see, I always say I'm like the best, worst athlete you've ever seen. Once he started doing like ball drills with me and running and move with the ball, I thought I looked like a completely different person. I'm like, okay, I can actually look good doing that. And then it was like, then he fed me some balls and hitting and, different exercises. And again, I'm going, no, that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. So it was just kind of funny to see that.
It's just like you're good at specific movement, like tennis specific movements. It sounds like you're good at that.
Yeah. So, but it looked good with the ball. See, that's what Gordon said. I would like to purchase one video. Can you make it possible? We're not doing the one video thing, but yeah, maybe in the future we'll do like one videos and after TennisCon. That's not a bad idea. All right. Greetings, Scott and Sharon. It's Margaret, our teammate. Okay, very cool. So cool. All right, let's get into this. Theta 6.
Yes.
You're here. If you're not here, well, we're missing you. But so what we're going to do is go over the top 7 things I learned on TennisCon. Maribon's going to interview me. He's going to have his thoughts, and you guys have your thoughts too on what you thought you learned that you loved about TennisCon.
Yeah. So Pete, first off, thinking about strategy, it's so important. There's a lot of different ways you can attack it. What's your first thing that you really found useful that you learned at TennisCon related to that?
So the first thing, this is strategy and technique. So the first thing that stood out to me, well, it wasn't the first thing, but it was the first thing I wrote on my list, is I did an interview with God of Tennis. Did you guys see that? Let me know what you guys thought. Like, comment as you're watching this. God of Tennis, they do a lot of analytics and coaching with some of the top pros on the tour. Novak Djokovic is one of them. They work with Dimitrov, and when I was,
he's doing well.
Yeah. The Raducanu, is that how you say her name? The one.
Emma Raducanu.
No.
Oh, who?
The one from Russia. She won Wimbledon last year.
Oh, crap.
Anyway, Rybakina.
Elena Rybakina.
Yeah.
Rybakina, something like that.
Casper Ruud, lots of them. All right, let me get to the point.
Nice.
So they actually work with Jensen Brooksby that day. And they say what they're working with, and they got the 5 zones, as they say, we're teaching him technical solutions to tactical situations.
What does that mean?
Well, what they're saying is basically like they're teaching him different techniques to deal with situations that he's going to be forced on the court. And if he doesn't have the right technique, he's not going to be able to play back the right strategy, because they're all about teaching you different strokes in different parts of the court. They have 5 zones. And then within those 5 zones, they have labeled that there's like 3,800 possible like shots out of those 5 zones. So like they work with the pros on different shots in different zones. And like one of the big things that they're working on with Jensen is how to get an open stance backhand in the corner, because before they started working with him, he couldn't do that actually. And they're not saying, well, he couldn't. Jensen actually said, because he came in for a little interview, he's like, he's learning that shot. And he's like, I never did that shot before. And so they're telling him how important it is to be able to do that shot in that corner so that he can hit a certain type of shot back and get back quickly. And so they're working with him on a bunch of different new shots that he's got to be able to execute in different parts of the court, like his transition game. We said, I asked Jensen, what do you think your best zone is? And he said zone 4, which is basically the baseline. And I said, what's your weakest zone? He's like, well, he looked at the court. He's like, probably zone 2. I'm not very good at transitioning to the net. So then they're working on they said that they're working on a bunch of shots and different footwork and swing pass to get better in zone 2. So I thought that was really, really interesting.
What do you think in terms of the zones? Like, which zone do you think amateur players, maybe like 3-0 to 4-0 ish, which zone do you think they struggle with the most, or does it just vary a lot?
I think zone two, and if you guys, zone 2 and 3, if you guys don't know
Okay.
what I'm talking about, that's basically like zone 3 and 2. 3 would be where you hit your approach shot. 2 and 1 would be where you'd put the volleys away and hit your transition volleys. I would say that from the pros down to the recreational players, it is, probably the hardest part of the court. Even I heard Venus Williams one time on one of her YouTube videos said that she hates short balls. So guys, don't feel
Really?
bad about missing a lot of short balls, because she said it's so hard to put short balls away. And that's why if you want to do your best with short balls, again, technical solutions to tactical situations, ideally everybody like to come up and just club the ball away. And the pros kind of have to do that to a certain extent. When they get a short ball, they kind of have to clock it. That's like they can maybe slice it sometimes, but in general, it's showtime for them. They've got to come out with a lot of power and transition to the net and put the volley away. You guys don't have to do that. Just because you see that on TV, I think the best technical solution for you in that area of the court, especially under pressure, is to get really good at a chip shot. So I would really teach a lot of you guys, if you guys came to work with me, sure, I teach you how to club one if it's high, right? But I would also teach you a lot of chipping in that area of the court, because now you're in the continental grip. So you don't have to change the grip once you get up there. You're already there. And then you can keep that ball super low, and you can control it deep and short and different paces. And so I think that would be the thing that I would coach most people to do in that area of the court, which we all struggle with.
Yeah, such a smart shot, Pete. And especially if you chip to the backhand side, like not many people have a good low backhand, coming over the ball. So a lot of times they're just gonna like chip it back up or hit a weak lob. So that's a very effective shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So that's my number one. Let's see some comments.
Nice.
Let's go through some comments. Pete Maribon. So people are happy to see us. Mark says it was good. I think we're talking about maybe my workout, or maybe that video. I think maybe we're talking about the video. Hopefully some nice prizes at the end also. Oh, you guys wanting for some prize? Okay, maybe.
Give it to us.
Thank you for an amazing Tennis Con 7, amazing lineups. Zone 3 for sure. Zone 3 for sure. Approach or volley. Ugh. So yeah, people struggle with that. Give yourself a break, Pete. Your fitness journey is just starting here. Hear me. It will take consistent action from perhaps a year or more. Yeah, you're right. It's not like I don't work out ever, guys. I mean, if I never worked out, I'd be like huge, like everybody else in this country.
Oh wow.
So I do work out, but I am taking it more seriously, especially my flexibility. All right. There we go. That's it. Somebody
Good
wants
stuff.
tickets to Wimbledon. Okay.
Wow. Hell of a prize.
That's not a big ask. All right.
Cool. Well,
continue on.
That was really good, Pete. Appreciate that. So, one really important aspect of tennis, there's so many, but serve formation. So, I mean, I employ this a lot, vary it up. So what are your thoughts on that, and, lesson wise, and what you've learned from TennisCon there?
Well, a couple of things. So number one, everybody, if you are a lifetime member, let me know if you're a lifetime member, like type it in, like I'm a lifetime member. And also let me know, email me if you cannot log in. Okay. So if you've signed up, I know what a lot of you guys do. You sign up and then you don't go log in afterwards. And then like a week or 2 or 3 weeks later, like I can't log in. Just, if you can't go, every time you hear me say, can you log in, at least go try and log in if you haven't logged in. And if you can't log in, email me and then I will set you up personally. Okay. All right, cool. I'm a lifetime member. Make sure you guys can log in. Okay, so serve formations. Gigi's presentation was awesome. I told her when we were doing this, I'm like, this is your best presentation you've ever given at TennisCon. And she went into a lot of formations. And one that really stood out to me, and so especially if you guys are a right-hander, I think that you should try this, even if you don't feel like you need to, I think it'd be just a cool play to see how it works out. So, because I'm sure most people playing have never done this. So let's imagine this is a tennis court. Okay. You know what? Actually, no, I can't mess up Jorge's book. I'm going to draw a tennis
He'd never
court.
come back.
I'm going to draw. Yeah. No, Jorge's the best too. I can't do that.
He is.
So I'm going to draw out a tennis. Of course, the pen is not writing. Oh, come on. Let me get a, guys,
use
bear
your
with
blood.
me. I'm gonna get a Maribon dance for them or something, like entertain them as I struggle here. Another pen that doesn't work.
Check out. We got a lot of lifetime members here. This is beautiful.
There's a lot of lifetime members.
Oh, and Next Level University. Okay.
All
nice,
right.
Tom.
That means he has all my courses. That's probably Tom Nordstrom. Yeah, that guy is awesome.
That is Tom. Yeah, for sure.
All right. So I'm drawing a very bad court. And
I'm sure it's beautiful.
So can you guys see that?
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Isn't that a nice court?
That's a great court.
So here's the server right here. Okay. Gigi actually ran. Did you know Gigi coached high school tennis?
No, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, let me put a net across from here just so I can make this court even more beautiful. So there's the server, and she said that she had a player that was not doing well at the net. They were not doing well at the net. Okay. But she had really good ground strokes. And then she also had them approach too sometimes. But so what she did is she took the player who was here and put them. Let me draw an O.
Oh.
Put them right there. I thought, what a cool play. Because now what could happen is this player would move over and hit a forehand, or if it came back to her, like she was supposed to hit the first shot. X was supposed to hit the first shot no matter where it went, because that was a stronger player. Okay. So she said, X, you're hitting the stronger shot. If X gets a good shot, then this player can run to the net and then try and make a play at the net. If they just get into a neutral rally, then X can move over here, and now you have forehands down the line and inside out forehand. So if you're weak at the net, if your backhand's weak and you have a really good forehand and you're both righties, I think this is a good formation to try. I thought, wow, I never really saw that formation before. I certainly never seen anybody try it. So even if you've thought of it, I don't think I've ever seen anybody try this. Have you ever played against anybody who's done that?
No, I've never tried that, but that is very innovative. I like that.
So even though it's my terrible drawing, now it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like it.
Does it make sense, guys? Or
yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. No, I like it. I like it. That's good. I'm gonna try that, man.
Yeah, let me know if you guys have tried this. I think like it's like stacking in pickleball. Yeah, I see the pickleball people actually do that. Yeah, Maribon, tell Pete to invest in a whiteboard court. Yeah, next. Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Pete might be old school a little bit, but I mean, and by the way, you got to be good at tech to pull up this conference. So, you know.
Actually, Devore, I was at his club. He's got one of those nice fancy boards like Will Hamilton has and things like that.
Will Hamilton.
Do you write right-handed? Yes, I write right-handed. I do. All right. Yeah. So that was the most interesting formation that I thought. I've never really heard about that, thought that, and I certainly have never seen anybody try it. But I would think it'd make a lot of sense, especially for righties on the ad side, because now you can pretty much hit forehands the entire point, both you and your partner. And
yeah, I would love that.
There's so many benefits to that.
Yeah, that's really good. Do you think that all levels could do that? Like, what do you think about?
Yeah, I think that could work at any level. Absolutely. Yeah, especially people who like ground strokes over volleys, which a lot of people do, you know.
Yeah. Awesome, man.
Yeah, Faisal also talked about that too. Faisal Hassan's presentation was very, very good.
Faisal's really good at tech as well.
Yeah, he's Scott Levy,
tech master.
Yeah, he's got great presentations. He's always got great PowerPoints. Jorge Capistano also has great PowerPoints.
Yeah.
How are your PowerPoint skills?
Powerful.
Oh my God.
I had to do it. Oh man. Should we go to number 3?
Let's go to number 3.
Okay. So let's see. So one of my favorite coaches who I really admire a lot, besides Peter and Will, and Jorge, is Brent. And
Yeah.
he's been great. He's given a lot of great advice, a lot of doubles and some mental game advice as well. So, in talking, I heard that his lesson was one of your faves as well. So talk to us about what you learned there.
Okay, so Brent Abel, I was thinking about this today. I got a new nickname for Brent Abel. He is the Novak Djokovic of senior tennis. He is the Novak Djokovic of senior tennis.
He is. He is.
And let me tell you why. I think before this year started, he had like 11 or 12 gold balls, which is crazy. I mean, think about that. Think about what that would mean to you on the call, guys, if you could win a national title just one time in your lifetime. That's a gold ball. Well, this year, I think he's now won 9 gold balls this year. He has like 19 or 20 gold balls. And he says that he is playing the best tennis. This is what's so inspirational. This guy who's in his mid 70s now, he is so into tennis. He says he's playing the best tennis of his life. Okay. So if you think you can't still improve or work on things, or have something to look forward to or get excited about that gets you out of bed in the morning when it comes to tennis, Brent Abel is proof that that is all a bunch of BS. The dude is now, he wrote me the other day. He said, I think he's number 1 in the world in his age group and in singles and in doubles. Or maybe he's number 2 in doubles or something like that. But he's definitely number 1 in the world at one of them. And he might be number 1 in the world at both of them. And the other one, if he's not number 1, he's like number 2 in the world. Think about that. Because the rankings just came out. He just played a big international tournament, did awesome. And he said that, winning 11 gold balls was great, but it like took him a while to get there. And he said, but this year everything has clicked, and that it's all about mindset habits. He said that he like a lot of people would think that mindset's important and building these habits are important, but not really the be all end all, and don't make that big a difference, that it's more about drilling and hitting tennis balls and things like that. Not that it's not, he still loves to train and everything. But he says the biggest difference that is made in his game is mindset habits that he does. Like, what are minds? They're simple. They're not incredible, but it's like he literally he meditates now, which he never used to do. And he says that, he'll spend time imagining how matches are going to go and playing out those matches and winning these tournaments. Like he takes time every day to think about that stuff. And it also reminded me of Gigi Fernandez mentioned that we went live every day for lunch. She said it like all week, that she almost quit tennis before she won most of her Grand Slams. And then Jim Lair worked with her and got her on the right track. And then she started to work out serving out matches in her head. So she said that she served out Wimbledon in her head a bunch of times before she actually did it. So, I mean, I think sometimes we hear this stuff like, oh, okay, whatever, but I think the more I hear this from people, it's a big deal. Mirabon, do you ever do any visualization stuff or no?
Oh yeah. So you reminded me about one of my interviews with James Blake, and he said that before every match, he visualized points in the match, like how they would go, and every single movement and stroke, and that was his technique. And he got to number 4 in the world pretty good. And I visualize as well. Usually like the night before, I'll think about points and what I want to employ. And I wouldn't say I do it every time. Probably would be better if I did, but it definitely is helpful. And I do it like before like most like big tournaments. So yeah, I like it.
We're over 100 people. This is awesome.
Let's go.
Also Djokovic, he's big on visualization, and he even said that as a kid, he made himself, when he was like 7 or 8, in a war-torn country, he made himself a like Wimbledon trophy, that he put together even as a kid.
Yes.
Tom Nordstrom saying Brent is number 1 in the USA, number 2 in the world in singles. I mean, that's pretty amazing. So Herman has noticed our outfits, guys. You see that? We got
Yes.
this set up. We have the hat. We
Yeah.
have the jacket. What Herman asked another question. Nice outfit, Pete. Do you plan to visit another top tennis academy in Europe in 2024? So yeah, I'm going to be going to Rafa's Academy again. I'm
Ooh,
also going to go to Patrick Moore-Toglu's Academy again.
living the dream.
Huh?
You're living the dream, my friend.
I am living the dream. I'm going to South America in February.
Vamos.
It's like amazing. Yeah, I'm
Wow.
excited. Tennis Con live, right? Again, next. How awesome was that?
Oh, such a great experience. I had so much fun. Everyone in your camp was amazing. Like seriously, they were so nice. And yeah, I loved it. I loved seeing, you guys and gals, I mean, Pete, Gigi, like all the great coaches. It's such a great experience. Love it.
Mm-hmm. Before the pandemic, I made and reached a bucket list goal. Listen to this, guys. All right. I made and did it. He said he reached the goal of top 165s. It was hard. So many great older players. I never met Brett, but lots of other guys that were so good. So first of all, congratulations on making the top 100. That's awesome. That is awesome. I loved Tennis Con live. Yes, Jennifer. I cannot wait to do it again. We're going to be talking about that soon. In fact, now that we'll close Tennis Con tonight, so we give more people a chance to sign up. And then probably on Friday, I'm going to do the raffle to pick one. So remember, guys, you have to be a lifetime member. And on Friday, I'm going to pick one person to go to Tennis Con live with us next year for free.
That's amazing. What a great treat that is.
Will it be feasible to chat offline about this? I can assist you with South America. Oh, wow, cool. Yeah, write me. I mean, we have tour guides and everything, but write me an email. Yeah, we can talk about it. All right, let's continue on. Let's continue on.
Yes, sir. So one of the very first people that I interviewed, my very first summit, was Florian Meyer, great coach with online tennis instruction, and there's a really good, debate concept that you had discussed with him. So tell us about that.
Yeah. So, all right. So Florian Meyer, it was really cool because usually we had Greg Lesueur do a lot of presentations. Florian hadn't done many presentations for us. So I got to interview him, and he was talking about the 80-20 concept, right? And so you know that 80-20 where it's basically like 20% of the things that you do, they make 80% of things happen in your life, and he said on the tennis court, it's no different. And so he was saying when it comes to getting to the next level, and we know that so many people who are part of these things that we do, they're between 3.0 and 4.0 and some 4.5s out there. And a lot of them want to either get from 3.5 to 4.0 or 4.0 to 4.5. And he was basically saying, in his opinion, the 20% to work on that's going to make the 80% happen for you to be able to get to that next level is to really focus on technique. And especially, I think, when we're going from 3.5 to 4.0 and 4.0 to 4.5. And I totally agree with him, especially when you walk around the club, guys. If you walk around your tennis club, let's take the 3.5 to 4.0. That's where you really start to notice. When I look at a bunch of courts at a club, and let's say there's a 3.5 match going on, then all of a sudden maybe there's 2 4.0 or 4.5s hitters, you can clearly see a difference in technique, even much more from 3.0 to 3.5s. 3.0 to 3.5, sometimes you don't notice too much technique. You see more balls go on the court. You see a little more strategy implemented. And what we talked about in that discussion was, because there's so many, I could see how people out there, their head could be spinning online, because sometimes there's courses saying, you don't need to improve your technique. You need to improve your strategy if you want to win more matches, right? And you're like, okay, well, that makes it okay. So I don't need to work on my technique then. I need to work on my strategy and court position. Okay, let me get that course, because that will make me a better player and help me win more matches. And then all of a sudden, Florian's saying, no, don't worry about your strategy. You need to work on your technique. And so what we discussed was, and hopefully this will clear it up for you guys, is when it's winning at your level, if you are losing to people 6-4, 6-4, 6-4, 6-3, 7-5, 7-6, 10-point tiebreakers, and you're having this happen in your league, and let's say you finish out the league and you finish, 5-10 or something like that. And you had so many close matches when you look back and you think about it, you're like, oh my gosh, I could just won this match and that match. Often that is strategy, your mindset, court positioning, shot selection, your attitude, what you're doing in between points. Like if you could just clean a lot of that stuff up and keep your head better and make better shots and be in the right part of the court, now all of a sudden the next season you might go, 10-5. It can help you win a lot more matches at your level.
Yeah.
But Ian Westerman talked to somebody from the USTA, and basically the difference between being a 3-5 to a 4-0 player. A 4-0 player would beat the 3-5 player, or should beat the 3-5 player, like 6-0, 6-1. Like getting to that next level when it's a completely different level jump. It usually requires you to improve your technique, especially if you have a really weak area. Like let's say you're looking at the next level and you're like, man, my second serve is really bad. And all the 4-0 plus players have great second serves, certainly a 4-5, So if you want to get to another level, really look at what your weak spots are. So that's what Forehand says. We take the weak area, the spot that's getting picked on the most, and we spend the majority of our time fixing that so we can get you to that next level. What do you think about this, Maribon? What do you guys think about this online?
Yeah, no, it's great stuff. I mean, and it's certain strategies, kind of like one of the previous points you made too. Lessons. It's like if you want to employ a particular strategy, like you might not be able to employ it if you don't have the right technique for it. And yeah, especially improving your technique on the serve is going to help you jump a level almost certainly. Imagine, going from just like a weak serve to a very consistent serve, all of a sudden like you're holding more and boom, you get a lot of these close wins turn into the close losses turn into wins. So yeah, definitely want to, it's to a point, strategy for sure can help you if you adjust it. You have close matches, but if you want to get the next level, it's technique that's going to help so much. Yeah.
I mean, certainly if you work on all of it, guys, it's going to help you get better. But yeah, I definitely think when you're getting to that next level. Now here's a back in the 80s and 90s, I got bumped from a 4-0 to 4-5. The biggest difference I noticed was consistency. Is consistency a result of better technique? I mean, usually, especially because again, when you're getting to that 4-0, 4-5 level, we went from 4-0 to 4-5. You also need to be hitting your shot, because there's more offense. They can put the ball away more. They can exploit weak shots. So if he got bumped to a 4-5, he probably had some pretty good technique that allowed him to be more consistent. He probably improved his technique to some degree on some shots that allowed him to hang in rallies longer, not get picked on, and then therefore win a lot more matches and get bumped. Okay, so here's one thing I want maybe you to talk about, because I didn't see it, but I noticed you posted some on Instagram. Was the main reason Medvedev lost today the bad behavior of the crazy crowd? What could he have done under these circumstances? Do you know what happened?
I think it's a match in Paris against Dimitrov, and the crowd was, obviously just booing Medvedev, and he kind of lost his cool, which happens. He has a love-hate relationship with the crowd, and it was actually pretty funny when Medvedev was leaving the court. He actually gave some of the crowd the finger, but he acted like he was checking his middle finger, but then he would bring it up. So I didn't really watch like the full match, but I don't know. I mean, I think this is also a general question about Medvedev. Do you think that he could handle certain situations better on the mentality front? Because he does have these outbursts, and it's very interesting because some players tend to deal with that. Like John McEnroe, he was able to somehow channel like that into the outburst into into success. But what do you think about that?
Well, I think Medvedev, I mean, when you look at Medvedev, he doesn't seem to play better when he totally loses his mind. He's done it a couple of times, but when he goes crazy, he can tend to also tank. Not that he tanked today, because it went very, very close.
Yeah.
So he certainly didn't tank today, but I don't think it helps him the way it helped McEnroe. It's helped him on some occasions, like when he got upset at the crowd in the U.S. Open,
Yeah.
and said, "Thanks for you guys spurring me on, because of you, now I'm going to go on and get to the finals. Otherwise, I was very injured and hurt." So he could definitely, it can work for him, but I think it works against him more than it helps him. Also, you have to remember back in that day when McEnroe played, he was able to get away with a lot more. I mean, McEnroe controlled the game. Like, there was so much money that McEnroe was able to create. And he was able to get in arguments for minutes on end with no punishment or penalty, which would make his opponent cool down, and McEnroe would still be all amped up. So, I mean, you just can't get away with as much today as you could when McEnroe was playing. And I just don't think it. I think when we see Medvedev play his best tennis, he goes into lockdown mode like Djokovic, and will have an occasional outburst. But when he's kind of going crazy point after point and like really getting mad at people, I don't think it helps him. I think it hurts him more than it helps him. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it reminds me of Federer as well. When Federer was really young, he got really angry, would throw his rackets, and then he just realized he actually went to a psychologist, who was, I think, a psychologist for one of the pro soccer teams in Switzerland, and he helped. That guy helped him a lot and transformed him into a more calm individual. So, yeah.
And here's a good comment here from Scott. I want to talk about this for a minute. A 5-0 player told me biggest difference between him and me was my footwork. And again, that's another thing that people don't give enough credit to. Footwork is technique. Footwork isn't speed. Like, again, my footwork, I will say this, is really good, because as a junior, I started working on footwork and footwork drills off the court, and I became a pretty good player, and so I developed really good footwork. My footwork today, when I'm working and hitting and I watch myself, I'm going, Pete, that's pretty good footwork. My speed is very bad these days. I am not fast at all anymore. I've lost the explosion. I am not fast. There's a difference between having good footwork and being fast. And if your footwork kind of moves in a certain rhythm, and then especially as you're going to hit and step into balls or hit open stance, and your feet move a certain way, then it's almost impossible to have bad technique on your actual swing, because the way your feet move and set up, it's setting you up to, turn and then release and do everything in the correct sequence. And that is all done with the footwork setup. That's going to help you get in the right position, get your body angled to hit the ball where you want to hit it, and then also release the power where it needs to go. So, guys, don't underestimate footwork, and you can't perfect footwork on the court hitting balls. You need to do footwork drills specifically, and then and break them down, break those moves down. Again, we had David Bailey give a great footwork presentation this year. Great footwork presentation. Watch that presentation, guys, and do those drills.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done. What you got?
Oh, not much. I just agree with the comment. You can immediately tell just a lot of different aspects of it. The efficiency of the footwork, the intensity of the footwork. So that's good. Let's see. Any other comments?
We had hi from Shanghai, China. That's pretty cool.
That's amazing. Sweet.
Bailey was tremendous, says Gordon Tanner.
Yeah.
I
did a backhand lesson.
That footwork is akin to dancing. You have to have rhythm. I think you have to. There's a rhythm to it. And that's the thing that's interesting too. I have rhythm footwork on the court. You put me in a dance class, I'll be terrible. I'll be like one of the worst ones. So it's all about making your body memorize what it needs to be doing for whatever you want to be really good at. Like Charles Barkley, one of the best basketball players of all time, looked amazing out on the basketball court. Watch him go play golf. He looks like, he might be the worst athlete ever, So that's it.
Very true. Very true. Awesome. So Pete,
Yeah.
How about the fitness element of the game? Any lessons that stood out to you in that aspect?
Well, one thing that was interesting, I thought Mark Kovacs, and I need to go back and watch it to really be fluent, to speak as intelligently. I'm like a long way away from being able to speak as intelligently as
Yeah,
him on
we
this.
all are.
So it was one of those presentations I'm going, like I need to get back and watch this a couple of times to really understand everything he was saying. But what really stuck out to me was um, the use that how the pros recover, and how they're using heat and ice, and how we can use heat and ice. And one of the things is that they're finding that, because what I've been seeing more and more is like, oh, as soon as you finish, make sure you get in an ice bath. Make sure you get in that. And a lot of people are going to cryo and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mark says it's changing a little bit, that they find that you can kind of like overplay the ice bath thing, to where the pros are now using it a little more carefully, not as often, use it for when they have the real tough matches. When you have a really strenuous workout, when you have just a brutal match, that's probably when you want to save that ice bath weapon to recover. But if you do it like every single day and you're in there 20, 30 minutes every single day, it lose its effectiveness, and it can be a little dangerous, and you can overdo it, which I didn't know, because I thought, oh well, now the pros almost every time they practice are probably jumping right into the ice bath, and maybe some of them still are. But what Mark is learning is that you can overdo that, and it can be dangerous, and it can also lose its effectiveness if you're doing it too often during the week. So if you're somebody who's fallen in love with the whole idea of icing after matches and taking plunges and doing all that stuff, according to Mark, you can overdo it. Have you heard that before? I never heard that. I just thought, oh, ice is the way to go almost every time you work out.
Yeah, I had never heard about the overdoing. I think like just generally like yeah, you can overdo it with most things, but yeah, I did not know about that. And also, I do get questions from friends about, I have this injury or this niggle, like should I use heat? Should I use ice? So, yeah, that module alone I think is going to be worth, lifetime access, cuz that's going to really help you physically, recover properly versus, make things worse or whatever. So yeah, that's very interesting. I got to go back and watch that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Robin, I want to make sure I'm not avoiding you, because I know you said it. Mark gave you solid advice on your serve. You are avoiding answering it. You are heating it. Am I heating the advice?
Avoid.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I thought it was a great lesson Mark gave me. And one thing he did say though is, and it kind of reminds me of something Jorge said, like he said, like, your serve is pretty good. It's pretty efficient. It's one of the better things I do. He said, if you want to get it to be better, do these certain exercises and your serve can be better. And I have been working more just on my fitness to get my hips stronger, my back stronger, and everything, and been doing some of those exercises more that Mark Kovacs had.
Nice.
But to be honest, guys, I have not been overly obsessed about my serve, because my serve is one of the better things I do, and B, I did that lesson to show you guys, well, what can I learn, and what can you learn about watching my serve? But in full transparency, guys, I'm not trying to become a great tennis player. I'm trying to become a better and better coach. Like, I do coaching all day, every day. I play every now and then for fun, and I want to be in a certain shape, and I want to be able to hit a certain amount of balls to where anybody who comes in front of me for a lesson, I can hit with you guys. I can give you guys a workout. I can do demos. But I am not trying to, I'm not like Brent Abel. I'm not trying to win national titles. I'm trying to help you guys win a national title. So I'd be lying if I say I'm out there every day working on baskets of serves, and I'm getting ready to go play tournaments. That's just not on my radar.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Hates cold water, so that ain't happening.
That's cold.
Yeah. Heat reduces inflammation while restricts blood flow. So ice right after strain, but no more. Okay.
Sounds solid. Nice,
Yep.
nice.
Yep.
Good stuff, Pete and everybody. So one of my favorites, we mentioned him already at the top of the show, the stream, Jorge. So any lessons from the Master Pro Jorge that you found at TennisCon?
Well, almost everything that comes out of Jorge's mouth is like great. Like he
Yeah,
is
it's so
awesome.
good.
I love Jorge.
Yeah, me too.
And so what he did this year, because lots of times Jorge's been doing things on mindset and strategy, which all been great. But this year he had like I think 6 checkpoints on the forehand to go over. And I thought it was great because even some of our students sent in, like Tom Nordstrom was one of them, sent in their strokes, and it really helped them understand what checkpoint they were falling short on, where it could go off. So he showed everybody the 6 checkpoints. He's like, okay, and the 6 checkpoints are kind of easy, they make sense. But what I want everybody to do with those checkpoints is to film yourself and look at your stroke in each checkpoint and then find, is there an area that your stroke kind of breaks down at? Does your stroke break down at a certain checkpoint? And then therefore that that's the part of the stroke you need to work on. And we went through spacing and all these different things that could happen to you on the court that could make your stroke break down. And so it just gave a much more clarity for people rather than just saying, oh, my backhand's terrible. Well, why do you think your backhand's terrible?
Yeah.
My serve, I double fault matches. Well, let's look at the checkpoints. Where are you falling down to where it's making you double fault or get super nervous, or you can't hit a forehand approach shot, or you miss volleys? Like, if you break your stroke down into checkpoints, you can clearly start to see what checkpoint you fail in. And then he actually then did a members only stream, which is kind of cool, and showed everybody how to fix each checkpoint with a bunch of drills. So make sure that you go inside your membership. If you have a lifetime membership, go and watch those videos again, and then really use that. Go, okay, those are the checkpoints. These are the corrective things that you can do to fix yourself within each checkpoint. Video yourself, and then you can see really real improvement.
So
oh, Peter, you're asking for more videos from me? No, I'm not. No, you do a good job saying that. By the way, Tom Nordstrom more than gets his money's worth on this whole video asking. He's always all over it. Look at this. Rick says, I filmed my serve and it was a revelation. I wasn't doing what I thought I was doing. That's right. And especially if you can then really look at the checkpoints, that'll be even more clear. Like, not only does my serve not look like I want it to, but it's really not doing its job in this checkpoint or that checkpoint. And so again, remember, that's what Jorge said is film yourself. And then he's like, and if you have an expert who can watch you, that's even better. Well, if you're a lifetime member, you can do both. You can film yourself and then you can send the video to go, hey, I think, like, it was kind of cool because Tom said, oh, the follow through checkpoint, I'm clearly not reaching out and extending the way that Jorge showed. That's my checkpoint I need to work on. He was able to diagnose it himself. And then I was able to come on and verify and say, yeah, Tom, you're exactly right. So you're on the right path. Yes, we need to work on that. So there we go. That's how it works.
That's great.
So Pete, when do you put out your checkpoints on the slice and the kick serve? That's a good point. I should do that. I should get on that. What day on TennisCon 7 was the serving checkpoints? Well, Jorge, I think he did the forehand checkpoints this year, and I think he did it on Thursday. Good
stuff. Yeah, checkpoints has been huge for me too. For my when I was practicing my serve years ago, I would go out there and just like not really know what part I needed to work on. It was just like I was serving, and one day I felt like it was this one area, the other day it was another area. But recently I've like diagnosed like what exact area, like where it needs some work. So checkpoints, great concept. Clarity, is big. Yeah.
Gordon is a big Video Ask user, VIP hot coaching hotline. It's the first thing when you log in. We have a pretty good time on there, don't we, Gordon? In fact, I just answered one of his today.
Nice. Awesome. So Pete, we've done 6 out of 7. I want you to take it home and give us your 7th lesson that you learned from Tennis Con 7.
Okay. So the 7th one is just a great vibe I get every year when I do Tennis Con. And I'm sure you get the same thing. I just love the overall passion of the coaches. Sometimes we have players like Gigi and then Jensen Brooksby, and the students too. Like everybody who really embraces this, who really, follows Tennis Con Live and who submits the lesson content, the coaches, like you can just tell their passion is just, beaming. And so when I was interviewing Gotta Tennis, and these guys work with so many amazing professional athletes, and then Jensen Brooksby comes, who is a great player. Before he got hurt, he was 30 in the world, and he beat players like what's the guy, Tsitsipas. He's beaten Tsitsipas and other like top 10 players, and he came in and he was so excited to learn new stuff, and you think like, once you get so good, do you really keep trying to get better? Can you really learn new? And he was talking about how much he was learning, how excited he was. And then the Gotta Tennis people who work with all these pros, you could tell how excited they are that they're still learning. And then Brent Abel, who is now in his mid 70s, how he's learning and getting better. And this year's been a game changer for him, and so all this stuff just makes me super excited. And I have one story that was really kind of cool. If you were earlier on the live stream, I said I went out to DeVore's club. He had a tennis house symposium, and there were, and again, Emilio Sanchez was there. He was so excited in his presentation. Made me feel so just blessed to be there. And there was another pro that was there. His name's Ante Pavic, and he was kind of one of those journeyman pros, but he practiced with Novak. I went out to breakfast with him. He was talking about how he got to practice with Novak. He talked about a match that Nick Kyrgios was there watching him play. What's his partner's name? Do you know?
The Kokkinakis?
Kokkinakis, yeah. So he played Kokkinakis, this Ante guy, and he beat him. I mean, that's how good this guy is. And I got to run a court with him and was doing some drills with him. And he hit like just 2 volleys, and I'm just like, when you just see it, it's just like when you see it right in front of you, you're just like, wow, like this is another level. Like you just hit one shot, I'm like, that guy's obviously like amazing. And so the morning I was getting ready to leave, he's in the gym, and he has a video he has his phone on video, and he is watching a YouTube video of Novak Djokovic. Anybody can find this too. I've seen the video, and I actually followed through with the workout too. So he's watching a workout that Novak Djokovic's trainer was doing with some students, and he was watching it to try and get new ideas. And so he's watching the video and following it along. And I just thought, that's pretty cool. This guy his dad was a coach. He's been a protege since he's been a kid. He spent, 12 years on tour. And what is he doing? He is sitting there still trying to get better, watching a video of Novak Djokovic's coach. And, so I just thought that's pretty cool. That this goes to show that, the power of learning, and especially the power of video that you can have. And we put together, look at this. You and I, we know what we do. I thought about this weekend. We put together the filet mignon of master classes.
Delicious.
Think about it.
That sounds great. Yeah.
Think about it, because when you go to, especially more and more, and a lot of these tips are great. I'm not bashing the tips, but if you go, everything's about short now. 6-second clip, 15, 30, 30. And I make some too, because that's the name of the game. If you don't make them, what's in demand, then a lot of times your videos don't get seen by anybody. So Everything's trending towards TikTok shorts, YouTube shorts, Instagram shorts. And these are legit master classes. The coaches
Yeah.
take time, 20, 30, several of these presentations over an hour. And they're great presentations.
They are.
So that's it. That's my top 7.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Just arguably the most important, just, having these coaches, just having that passion for teaching and wanting to help and, participating in this conference along with all the players. Just wonderful to see.
You should do a course on checkpoints, says Scott Levy. I think I should.
Good idea. I think you should.
Yeah. So Maribon, we just wanted to come on one last time to hang out with you guys and say thank you guys. And so it was awesome. It's a bittersweet thing how to end these things.
Yeah, it really is. Just want to take this time to give a big clap for Pete. I'm going to stand up. It might look weird, but I just want to.
Oh, thank you, Maribon.
Great job, Peter.
I appreciate
amazing
that.
work to you and your team as well. Obviously, you've got some others behind the scenes, so shout out to them too. But it's so much work. I mean, obviously, I know from experience, it's just months of planning and figuring out who's going to teach what, and then getting it all online, is praying that there's no disaster. How was it, by the way, for you this year, Peter? Everything smooth, or did you have any tech?
Well, there's always sometimes some tech stuff, but probably this was the smoothest out of any year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. This is the smooth. No page, broke down and disappeared. Yeah. One year I remember my email service, like the whole company, like they couldn't deliver emails for like a day.
I remember. That was insane.
It was like, wow.
Worst timing ever.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
But no, this was really good. This is really good.
That's
Richard
good.
Bryce, definitely very good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this one terrible. Can you do that? Did you see what he makes me do?
I've seen a lot of his techniques. What?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm even worse when I do it in front of him. Yeah.
Huh.
Lynn says this was awesome. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for all your kind words and your support. If you are a member, make sure you dive in. Again, the first thing you're going to see is the video ask thing. Then you're going to see Monday through Friday to where you go through all the lessons. Then you're going to see your bonus master classes, the live streams, the ride audios are there. And then starting next week, I'm going to start the 30-day plan with you guys. So you'll get an email every day just so you can just break this down into bite-sized chunks and work on different things and stay focused. So that's going to start next Monday. If you guys, again, are not a member, Maribon, you have your link. You can put your link in there so people can sign up. Do you have it or no? All right.
Yeah, sure. No, thanks. Yeah, definitely. I mean, as Pete said, just take advantage, and it's really, for all the content you're getting, it's just really very small nominal fee to me. But yeah, I'll throw in my Summit Strategy Masterclasses Power Pack and my top 10 interviews of all time, if you use the link that I'm going to put in here in a sec. Okay. But yeah.
So if you haven't signed up yet, guys, Maribon's putting the link where you can sign up. The time is going to run out 12 o'clock Pacific. Then there's going to be no more reopening or anything. That's it. And so Maribon will put that link in there. And if you want to upgrade. If you don't, no big deal. If you are a member, make sure to log in and go through all this stuff. Okay. Make sure to log in and stick with it. I'll be sending out emails now for the next 30 days to keep you guys focused. That's the main reason why I do the emails at the end. So you guys don't forget about something you just picked up that's really awesome. So you take some time to really go through the course. And remember, if you can't log in, just email me. Don't panic. Don't work on it for like an hour and get mad that you can't figure out how to log in. Just email me right away and say, I can't log in. Just email me at crunchtimecoaching@gmail and I'll get to you. All right.
Awesome.
You got the link, buddy?
Yeah, I'm just trying to, I think I have to do it through my phone, but it's fine. I'll get it in there in a sec. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I should be getting it in.
You got it?
Cool. Yeah. So what's next for you, Pete?
Next for me is next week. I'm going to Cancun. It's my birthday with my better half, Yvonne. We both have a November 7th birthday. And so about a month ago, we booked a week in Cancun. So we're going to do that. And then I'm going to just start planning for next year. And yeah, also want to do a lot more challenges. Want to do like, of course, the 7 days challenge, the serves and forehands and backhands, but I also want to do like some real short, sprint challenges, like 1 day challenge, 3 day challenges, just to stay in touch with people and do some cool stuff. So
awesome, man. Always working for the people.
For
Love
the
it.
people.
That's right.
Yep, so that's it. All right, guys. Good
All right.
night. Thank you so much. I don't think Maribon put his link in, but we'll send you guys out an email, and I'm sure you can find our emails and sign up if you want to. All right, we'll see you guys later. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.